Hi, I'm Sarah Compton Bishop. I'm Chair of the Board of NHS Highland. I'm doing this short video today to update you on some of the things that we talked about in our first public board meeting of 2025, which took place on the 28th of January. So at the start of the meeting, probably not surprising, we talked a little bit about the storm, just recognising how much impact that had on some of our communities, particularly communities in the West in Argyll Bute, and really to pay tribute to our staff who absolutely went above and beyond during that really challenging period to look after people in their communities, but also to support one another at a time where they were also being personally affected by the storm. So a huge thank you to all the staff that really did just pull out all the stops to help people who needed it. And a huge shout out to our communities as well. Certainly I saw here in my local community, people rallying around and pulling together. And it was exactly what was needed during such a difficult time. So the meeting itself, we looked at some things that we always look at, including some data around performance, our finances, our risk register. But there were some really key pieces that came through the board this month, and there was a real theme around population health, prevention, early intervention. None more so than in the annual report that we get from our Director of Public Health. So every year we get an annual report from the Director of Public Health, and it really gives us an opportunity to look back and consider how well we're doing in that public health space and for the overall well-being of our communities, but also a look forward into how we can continue to focus on prevention and public health interventions that we know have massive impact in the long term and are the right things to do for people. So this year the report was about health inequalities. It's a fantastic read. I really recommend people to go and have a look. It'll be available on our website through our papers, and it's a fascinating report. It includes data on the conditions that most impact quality of life and length of life and years of good health and bad health. Really interesting to understand what drives those health inequalities, but also helpfully some key recommendations that as a board we accepted and we committed to pursuing those and bringing those back in the future to see how we're doing against them. And while it is an NHS report and it's on health inequalities, it really recognises that population health and the well-being of our communities and getting rid of those health inequalities goes much wider than just the NHS. So part of the discussion today was about how do we work with our partners and local authorities, third sectors, other local stakeholders to really drive that forward and make those differences that will improve people's lives and reduce health inequalities. There's definitely not an easy or quick answer, but it's something that we're really passionate about. We also approved today the first go at our Health and Wellbeing Strategy for NHS Highland. Really happy to see this coming forward. It's another tool in our kit to help us support our staff with their health and well-being. We know that people who work for us do it because they have a real passion for helping others. We know those jobs can be really rewarding, but we also recognise just how demanding working in the system can be. So the Health and Wellbeing Strategy comes with an implementation plan as well, which is probably the really important bit. That's about how do we make things better and to support people's health and well-being. It was a first swipe. It'll be something that is iterative and it'll come back and evolve as things go on. But it was great to see the level of engagement and consultation that has gone into this first draft. And what we heard today was how that continued evolution of the strategy and the plan will be informed by our staff on the ground, and that's really important. And the last thing that I want to draw people's attention to is a report. It's called a post-occupancy report. It's a big report on our National Treatment Centre that we have here in Highland. It's a brilliant piece of work. It's for Scottish Government so that they can see how it's gone, both the building of the National Treatment Centre, setting it up and how it's running now. So that is an important document nationally, because there are going to be other national treatment centres in the future. But it's a really useful tool for us and a real opportunity to celebrate some success. So we heard about how the project was managed from a building perspective, and there's things that we've learned from that and can take into future projects. We also have got learning in there about efficiencies and how we deliver things and how we work with staff and patients in new, better ways. So it was a really, really rich document with lots and lots of things that we can take away and use in the future. But importantly, it documents and recognises the huge success around the National Treatment Centre, and that's really helpful at this point to be able to celebrate some success as well as recognise the challenges and the areas for improvements. So that's just a couple of highlights. The board meeting gets recorded, so you can watch it back or watch parts of it back if you want, and all the documents are available publicly on our website as well. And I will see you again after our next board meeting in March. Thanks.